welcome everyone to In the Vapor, a show about individuals in our community and industry. And the goal of the show is to show the world that we come from all different walks of life and how deeply involved we are in the day-to-day activities in our community. And on today's show, we got Taylor Cage. She started out in the vaping industry in the PR and marketing. Taylor is also a freelance consultant and was a board member of Tobacco for Life and is currently VP of SFATA. All of Taylor's links will be in the header, and I will also post them during the show, guys. First off, I want to say thank you for taking the time and joining us today on the show and sharing a little bit about your personality and your involvement in your community. So, Taylor, you ready for 30 minutes of hard-hitting journalism?
Let's do it. I'm so excited. Thanks for having me.
I'm excited. We were talking before the show. I love this community. I love how friendly everyone is. I love going to the shows and getting to meet everybody that I got to know a little bit about on IG in the beginning, Facebook, and some of the YouTube shows. So it's going to be fun to get to know you, and I'll be nice. I got nice, easy questions for you. Easy
All
questions.
right. That's what I've always liked about you.
I make it. I take it easy. I take it easy. Let's get right into it, and let me get you the first question. Tell us a little bit about Taylor's family life.
Well, I love my family. I try and spend as much time as I can with them. I'm actually in Texas right now, where all my family is. Even though I live in Maryland, I try and make it out here once a month, once every 2 months, just to check in, see how everyone's going. I've commandeered my mother's office, so
Uh-oh.
when I'm here, it's my office.
Don't touch anything. Don't touch anything.
Oh, I can touch things, but I just can't move
You
things.
can't move.
If I
My
move
dad
the
was
cup,
my
game
dad
over.
was one of those guys that he knew, like, if something moved in there like an inch, he'd come in there. Who was playing with my toy car? It's a toy car, Dad. It's a toy car.
Oh, well, I'm the same way, and I got it from my mom for sure. If something's just a little bit like an inch out of place, I'm like, you need to
Yeah,
put that back.
yeah. So you're at home. Does it feel strange to be at your mom's house?
No, no, honestly, I love it. I have family that's, sometimes in and out of health. So I like to come and just help out, like do the dishes,
Yeah,
take people to doctor's appointments, and do whatever needs to be
yeah,
done.
yeah. Okay, when Taylor, I'm gonna put you on the spot here, and I hope you remembered this one. Yeah, are you ready? You got one for me. Okay. Tell us your funniest joke.
Oh my gosh. I honestly, I was dreading this one because I'm not a joke person. I'm
Yeah,
definitely more of a meme person.
everybody's got one. Everybody's got a favorite joke.
Okay, okay. So a priest, a preacher, and a rabbit walk into a blood bank, and the rabbit goes, "I think I'm a typo."
I barely heard that one. Say it again.
Okay, a priest, a preacher, and a rabbit walk into a blood bank, and the rabbit says, "I think I'm a typo."
Okay, I got it now.
Yeah, see, this is why I don't tell jokes.
Yeah, no. See, we get to know a little bit about your personality. I mean, that's what the whole show's about. Is Nick had everybody has a go to joke stored in their memory that if someone says a joke, you're like, hey, I got one, I got a joke, and everyone always has one stored in there. The reason for the show is to let people know that we're not all in our 20s and we're involved in our communities. Are there any other groups or programs there within your city that you're involved in?
So within Texas, I try and volunteer with different political campaigns. Right now, I'm really into the Texit, which is the Texas Independence Movement. And then in Maryland, I forgot to mention this to you, I'm also on the board of the Maryland Vapor Alliance.
Oh, nice.
And so we do what every other state group is out there doing, lobbying and fighting for reasonable regulation.
Being involved, I've been involved in some of those political campaigns and stuff like that. Do you feel funny being in there? You know, just like the way things are organized and set up, and do you feel like just for me, like the first time I was in there, I was like, okay, this is how it's all done. You know, you are you answering calls, you're licking stamps, you're putting stuff in envelopes. Did you have fun doing all that stuff?
Oh yeah, I love it. I've actually been volunteering with the Libertarian Party since I want to say like 17 before I could even vote.
Yeah,
And it's just super exciting and so fun, and you feel like you're making a difference. I've volunteered in soup kitchens. I love volunteer work, but political volunteer work is just a little bit different. Like it
yeah,
feels heavier,
yeah,
I
yeah.
guess.
Yeah,
Um,
have you had to go door to door and try to get votes yet? Have you had to do that yet?
no, I'm not built for that.
I did that, and it was a lot of door slamming. Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't have time for
I'm
this.
too
No.
sensitive.
Yeah,
I'd
yeah,
be
no,
like crying halfway through.
yeah, yeah. I was just like, I think I was about an hour into it, and I was like, I need a drink. I just can't do this here.
There's only so much rejection that one person can handle, right? Like,
Yeah, and I think everyone gets bombarded, you know, especially during campaign time. You know, everybody's knocking on their
right,
doors, you know, including not, you know, the Mormons, the Jehovah Witnesses are doing it. Everybody else is knocking on people's doors, and then you're coming
yeah,
over there, you know, trying to get votes for a water bill, or you know, you know, to take fluoride out of the water, and you feel like you're, you know, they like you're making them upset. They're pissed off at you that you're wasting their time standing at the door listening to your little letter. You know, you have your little you've
feel,
never if you
yeah,
never done it, you have that little paragraph that you have to say when they open the door. So you have to go through this spewel and then kind of hope to God that you know the door doesn't get closed on you halfway through it.
yeah.
Oh,
And then sometimes, like I know when you get to the end of it, sometimes, and then they want to hear more. You're kind of frozen, like, oh, I haven't really gotten this far yet.
exactly. That's exactly happened to me a couple of times. I was just like, "Oh, okay. Oh, wait. Turn the page. Turn the page.
All right, yes.
You didn't slam the door in my face. Thank you." Uh, we all get a bit frustrated from time to time in the industry and the community. If there was one part that frustrates you the most, what is it and why?
Oh my gosh. So there's just like an overall lack of education, I think, and then where the public is concerned, right? And then within our community, I think apathy is really just what pisses me off the most. There's a lot of small things that we can all be doing every day, every week, whatever.
Yeah.
And there's just so many people that aren't doing it. And
Yep.
I think they kind of go hand in hand. It's like a chicken and the egg, where, maybe if these people were educated more and knew why we're in such an important fight for the future of our industry,
Yeah.
they would care more, and there wouldn't be so much apathy, and you know
Yeah.
one goes to the other.
Right. Yeah. We've talked about this really a lot on our show, on the Wednesday Night Live show. And for a lot of things that come up is generally in our industry, I'm sure you even noticed it. Most individuals had no idea how politics works. They were never concerned with it. They didn't get involved into it until you know they got into vaping, and then vaping kind of introduced them into politics and understanding, you know, who your mayor is, who's your city councilman, who's your governor, who's the VP president. You know, a lot of people don't care. They didn't care about that stuff at all, and it seems like our community, it's like we have a lot of first timers. Do you
Yeah,
feel
and
that
that's
way?
okay.
Mhm.
And that's okay. And I think what I love seeing is how it activates people and sort of radicalizes people, right? Because once you have this front row seat as to how the FDA operates,
Right.
how the CDC operates, how these people on committees that have no idea what it's like to do any of the things that we're doing are making laws that govern the way we do it when they can't even tell us the difference between this and
Yeah.
this.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But I've said this before and I'll say it again. Being like in this industry, a lot of people can come together really quickly under a direct and quick threat.
Yeah.
But the problem with that is it's not sustainable. So
Yeah.
being proactive is a lot better and a lot less expensive than being reactive.
Right.
So
Right.
so hopefully everyone can remember that and start thinking about, things they can do to look
Yeah.
ahead and stay in business.
Yeah, I mean, I threw out a number yesterday to Matthew Salter yesterday, and it was something Dr. Collin posted the other day, and that was the 87 million vapors worldwide. And jokingly, I said to Matthew, "Where are these people? Where are these people? Where are these 87
Right?
million people?" Because you know,
Can
I don't
someone
want.
send me that mailing list?
I mean, to me, it just blows me away. And I mean, we've heard the numbers here in the U.S. It's anywhere from 10 to 11 million. I think it may be even more now. And I understand it. The question I kind of threw at him is, as smokers, are we just so self-centered that we don't give a crap about anything other than ourselves? Like, because in the beginning, remember when all this started taking place, we had the DIY community saying, I'm good. It don't matter if I can't get my e-liquid here or there. I can make it at home. Now they're
Well,
starting to
they're
real
feeling the crunch now because they can't get their supplies.
ban. So they're starting to realize that you could say that 4 or 5 years ago, but you can't say that today because now, as we've noticed, they're starting to understand the system. They're starting to understand our hardware. They're starting to understand what goes into our liquids. So they're starting to understand how to write legislation to make sure that DIYers can't get what they need to make their e-liquid. So they're figuring out ways. To me, it's hard to understand when you see numbers like 87 million, 15 million, and you just don't see that with the calls to actions. You don't see that with the, you know, uh, get out there and protest at a city council meeting or be out there at some sort of federal meeting. And for me, it's just like, where are all these people? But then you start thinking, as a smoker, you didn't care. You know what I mean? You got your cigarettes, you smoked outside, nobody bothered you, nobody gave you any crap until the last, say, couple 10, 15 years. But up until that point, most of us, we just bought our cigarettes and we smoked. We didn't have this community we have in vaping. And I figured, okay, we got this community. Everybody wants to save this. Where is everybody? And that's got to be frustrating for you.
It is frustrating, and Lord knows we're all trying. Every single advocacy group is constantly trying to recruit new people and new members, and it's just people don't want to take any kind of action unless one, it's an easy action that they can take, right? We have to be careful that we're not asking too much, right? Click this link, text this number, call this person, email this person.
Yeah.
That's kind of where it ends.
Yeah.
There's not much more we can ask.
Yeah.
Um, but additionally, it's got to be like you've got to care about it, and people don't care until maybe it's about to be something that they can't have anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so as we get closer down the line, I think it's got to be, hey, let's look at the next steps.
Yeah.
Let's look at what it looks like 6 months from now, a year from now, 5 years from now, and make sure that we're laying the foundation for
The
the fight
future.
that's going to be on our hands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I always tell people. It's not about you today. It's about the future smoker generations from now is trying to get them away from cigarettes and having something like vaping that's there for them instead of, just saying, oh, well, I don't care. I'll somehow, some way, I'll get my stuff. And you got to take that out of your mind. You got to get that. You got to start thinking about the guy that lives in the rural areas that can't get stuff sent to him anymore, or doesn't have a vape shop that's 3 or 4 hours away and he doesn't own a car. That's the guy we have to start worrying about.
Well,
Yeah,
and even though it's been 10 vape years, and I know vape years are like ages you like dog years, but
ex-
our industry is like 10 years old.
yeah,
We're still just a drop, like we're an infant compared to the lifespan of tobacco
right.
or alcohol or any other substance, right? Or marijuana. Like we're still in infancy.
Yeah.
So what we do now lays the groundwork for our, the
Future.
rest of our lives. Yeah, the rest
Yeah.
of the life of our
Yeah.
industry.
Yeah, I had a little thing that I put together on the Wednesday night show, and I called it 30 minutes of advocacy a week. That's all. 30 minutes a week. You can do this,
Yeah,
and it's just simply making a few calls. Everybody's got a smartphone. You can set up a timer on your lunch break. Hey, call, check CASA for calls of action. Check your email. Make this call to the president. Make this call to your congressman. Find out who your city councilmen are. Find out who your mayor is. I mean,
yeah,
these are simple things. And I understand when you're 20, you don't give a shit who your city councilman is, or you're 21, 20. You don't start caring until you maybe purchased your first house, and now you're starting to pay property taxes. You got
right.
a water bill, you got garbage bill, and you're like, how come my garbage bill is this much this month? And I tell people, if you just spend a few minutes a week finding out who these individuals are and starting local. If you haven't been involved in politics, start local. Find out who your city councilman is. Schedule a meeting. These guys are people that live in your community. They own businesses in your community. He may even be your next door neighbor. I
Right.
mean, that,
Your kids probably go to school together,
yeah,
It's and building those relationships, of course, you
yep,
can't go meet with them once and say, all right, well now I want you to, table
yeah,
this bill or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
But you build that relationship and eventually they let you know, hey, this is what these people are talking about. They want to, tax this or do that.
yeah,
They'll let you know and
yep.
they'll remember you. Like you just got to keep at it and nurture those relationships.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I tell everybody. No, I tell everybody, start local. Start local. Every city has a Facebook group page. If you go to that Facebook group page for your city, you can find out when their city council meetings are up. You can find out what's on the agenda. If it's something that's concerning you, get your ass over there. Get your ass over
Yeah.
there and fight and be a voice, be heard. So, and the
Well,
same
they're
thing.
not like you're entitled to it.
Yep.
This is why they exist.
Yeah.
They want if something is wrong or we don't like it, we're obligated to say, "Hey, this is BS.
Yeah.
Like this is how I feel about it, and I think you shouldn't impose this on
Yeah.
us."
Yeah.
Like,
Instead of being that person that wakes up one morning and finds out, you don't have flavors in your city anymore. And you're like,
right.
oh, I didn't hear nothing about it. It's like, well, get involved. Get involved.
And
Don't be that.
somewhere along the way, it got lost. The city council meetings used to be a thing that if you live in a city and you're, an active member of the community, you go to the city council meeting.
Yep.
And I don't know, like, where in this timeline we dropped that because
Yeah.
it's not a thing people do anymore.
Yeah, my city council, I can call him right now and schedule a sit down with him. I can find out what his stance is on vaping. And when I did that, he looked at me like he was completely lost. He's like, vaping? What the hell's vaping? Because I live in a small town. We have maybe 2 or 3 shops now, but we have like a legitimate vape shop, and the rest are kind of mixed in with glass and all that other nonsense. And
Right.
they got e-juice at the far back corner on the left side, and it's 3 shelves, but there's 60 shelves of bongs everywhere and the rest of the stuff. So, but yeah, I mean, those are guys, like I said, they're guys that live in your city. They own businesses. It could be your neighbor. You sit down, you get to know these individuals, you get to understand where their stance are. You let them know what your stance are on vaping or anything else. Are they putting too much fluoride in your water? Are you pissed off because your mailbox needs to be here now? Stuff like that. That's the stuff
Right.
why you need to go. Yeah.
And it's planting those little seeds, time after time and watering them that's going to grow into something
Yeah.
really fruitful for you because maybe next time, they're voting on a 21 and up tax or something
Yeah.
like that. And he
Yeah.
remembers you and he's going to say, no, I think we should, make some amendments to this.
Yeah. All right. Are you ready for some rapid questions?
All right, let's go.
All right. The first one is always saved. I got a tally on this one, and I'm going to cross my fingers. You go my way on this one. You
Okay.
ready?
Yeah.
Pineapple on pizza, Taylor. Yes or no?
No,
Ah, I love you. I
no.
love you. Yes. Thank you.
No, I've got Italian roots, and that is just preposterous.
Okay. Tu parla italiano?
A little.
A little?
I'm out of practice.
Ah. Taylor's first job, and did you get fired or did you quit?
I don't even remember. My first job was the summer I turned 13 13 or 14. I don't really remember. But I scooped ice cream at a candy ice cream shop, and it
Yeah.
was like the funnest job.
You didn't quit. You quit or
I
got.
think I just left. Like it was just a summer thing,
Yeah.
just for the summer, and so I just left at the end of the summer.
Yeah. If you were arrested with no explanation, what would your family and friends assume you have done?
Let's see. They would probably think I was mouthing off to a cop.
Yeah, you're one of those.
Yeah, I can get mouthy towards authority.
You would have been. You would have been. All right, Taylor. I'll be right down there to bail you out.
Yeah, well,
uh, if you got an hour alone all to yourself in the White House, what would you do, Taylor?
ooh, that's a good question. I would, well, definitely take some selfies in the Oval Office. And then I would spend the rest of the time just looking at all the art on the walls.
Let me. Oh, stop it. We don't. Pineapple does not belong on pizza. We're not going to get
Yeah,
into
and
that.
I feel like the people that fight to the death on that just are doing it for attention because no one could honestly like that, right?
Your favorite toy growing up, Taylor? What was your favorite toy?
Um, let's see.
My
I
Little Pony was Amber's. Amber's was My Little Pony.
Yeah, I liked My Little Ponies. I was definitely into Barbies.
Yeah,
And then anything with wheels,
and
bikes, skates, rollerblades, skateboards. If you could ride it, it was my favorite.
yeah. What is your favorite cuss word? You could say it here. You can assume what number one is, right?
I mean, yeah, I think it's just a classic, the classic F word. I
The
mean, I
F word.
save
Yeah,
it
yeah,
mostly for like special occasions or emphasis or
yeah,
on certain days, just everything. But
yeah.
yeah,
You don't have to
classic,
say it, but
versatile.
that's number one on the poll. What sport would be the funniest to add mandatory amount of alcohol to? The athletes, not us, not the fans, but the athletes.
I think I would love to see it in ice skating or ice hockey.
Ice hockey. You too. Hockey is so violent already, but you want to give these guys alcohol?
Yeah, well, so for two reasons,
Uh,
because when you get, I don't know if you've ever tried to skate on ice
yeah,
after you've had some alcohol.
Yeah.
But the moment you get on the ice, something about the temperature and the
Yeah.
imbalance makes you so much drunker than you were when you were standing on flat land. And so I think that would be great. And then yeah, with the violence, imagine just like oh man, they'd take a swing and then miss and then twirl all the way around and then fall, and it would be yeah. Yeah, have a couple beers before you get out there.
You're the second person that said hockey. So now I want to see guys hockey game with all of them just completely hammered, drunk, playing hockey. I think it would
And
be
the Zamboni guy.
yeah, we know that one. That one's very popular in Australia.
Oh
uh,
yeah, that's the
uh,
standard in Australia.
all right. If you were held at gunpoint and told if you didn't impress them with your dance moves, you would be killed, what dance moves would you bust out?
I'd probably go with some ballet. I had some ballet training when I was younger. I could probably recall that pretty quickly. Some plies and some yeah.
The
Some nice little
swan?
moves. I do some twirls, a couple of twirls there.
That would I would be laughing as someone holding up somebody, and all of a sudden they just start doing their uh, Taylor, what was your first car?
It was a boring Honda Civic.
Ah, man, nice, simple car.
It had
Uh,
great mileage.
do you miss it?
No.
You don't miss it?
I've got a brand new Forerunner now. I've definitely evolved into a SUV person. I like to be high up.
Yeah.
I like to see everything that's going on around me, like big old tires and
Yeah,
yeah.
I had someone ask me if I missed my first car, and I just started laughing. I go, "Hell no, I got heated seats, I got air conditioned seats, now I got Bluetooth, I got GPS,
Oh
I
my
got
gosh, I don't know how I ever lived without a backup camera and heated seats.
yeah, and I'm from the generation where we had to do this with the window, so I don't miss any of that stuff."
I'm pretty sure I didn't have electric windows in my
Oh,
little
you didn't
Honda
have
Civic.
any? What is the worst and most annoying catchphrase to you?
Um, catchphrase.
You know, like, "What's up?"
Oh, I can't stand it when people answer the phone and say yellow.
Yellow.
Oh man, it just I can't get into it. And then when
Uh,
you say espresso instead of espresso,
yeah.
drives me nuts.
Is my mic still glitchy?
No, it's not, no,
Okay, yeah.
it corrected out.
I don't know. I think it's sometimes it goes in and out. That is our 10 rapid questions. Pretty easy. I got to know a little
Well,
bit
pretty
about you.
famous.
You are one of the very few that's on the non-pineapple side. Thank God. And so it's just like three of us on that list. Everybody else is
We're
are
all Italian, I bet.
they, hey, Nick Orlando said he wants pineapple on his pizza. And I said, Nick, are you Italian? You're Italian, Nick. You're not supposed to want
Right.
pineapple.
He can't be Orlando anymore. We got to take all the vowels out of his last name.
Yeah, there he is. Yeah, Nick. What's wrong with you, Nick? You're
Come
Nick.
on, Nick.
You're Italian. You're from New York. You live in Florida now, but you're a New Yorker by heart. Very few New Yorkers are going to say they want pineapple on their pizza.
Oh,
Uh,
my favorite's just like basil, tomatoes, cheese, sauce.
yeah. This part of the show, tell us a little bit about what's going on with you as far as advocacy and in the vape community.
Well, so SFATA has been fighting, I think something like 12 bills just this week. So we're spread out pretty thin, working on that. We're just empowering state groups to one make sure they know that these bad bills are on the the table and to making sure they have everything that they need to fight it, because that's where the next battle is. Like, yeah, they screwed us on synthetic nicotine, but we need to be looking forward to making sure all of our states are really strong.
Yeah. I mean, you guys over there right now are super, super busy. I know you guys have changed the way things are done there at SFATA. Are you guys, because in the beginning, right, you guys were about the manufacturers, correct?
So our goal is really to represent the whole industry, from
Yeah.
manufacturing to distribution to retail. And I think that's really the only way we're going to move the
Right.
needle. So
Right.
we've got to have everybody on board, everybody on deck. And, if other groups want to splinter off, that's fine. But we're focused on sensible regulation from manufacturer to purchase,
Right.
right? And whatever we can help with
Yeah.
beyond
Are you guys trying, are you having a little, is it going well trying to get the vape shop to come in and join SFATA? Has it been a process, or shops jumping aboard?
that. Yeah, and there's more and more every day. And SFATA, luckily, has always been the group with the most shop involvement. I think the people that we have in SFATA right now with shops are just so on top of things. They're
Yeah.
educating their customers. They're, you know, making sure their shelves are responsibly stocked. They're calling their local legislators, and honestly, like, if we had that everywhere,
Yeah.
we wouldn't be in the trouble that we're in
Yeah. When you have a new shop come on board, what is your sense of their knowledge of advocacy when they first join on? Do most of them kind of understand a little bit about what's going on, or are they just a blank slate?
now. Well, we don't really have a lot of blank slates. So when people come on, it's usually because there's some trouble that they're facing immediately. So we like to really pack in the value for our members. So we have things like webinars that are free for
Right.
members. We have toolkits that are free for members and anyone. We've got bill trackers. We've got platforms where you can go email your congressman or your senator. And then we've also just launched whywevape.org, which is going to be sort of a hub for anyone to submit a video testimonial about why they vape, obviously.
Yeah.
And each state is going to have its own little homepage, so that when they have to go testify before some committee, or they want to present this to someone that's making a decision about vape shops, they can go to this state resource page and see, hey, these are all the people that have taken the time to make a video saying, I smoked for 20 years and I was
Yeah.
able to stop using this vanilla milkshake flavor.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome. That's
yeah,
awesome.
hopefully it'll be a really great resource that can move the needle. I know I've been saying that a lot, but that's really our goal this year, and um, that's that's what we're working on with every little initiative that we
Yeah,
bring in.
yeah. I mean, that to like we talked about it, that's really important. I think people need to realize, like I said, we're not 20s. We're not 25 years old. We're grandpas, we're grandmas, we're moms, dads. We're in our 30s, 40s, and 50s. Some of us have been smoking 20, 25, 30 years. Some of us have tried the gums. We tried the patches. We tried,
And
sitting down with a
medication,
psychiatrist. Yeah, we've tried
yeah,
all that stuff. It hasn't worked. This is working. I'm going on almost 11 years. Did I
wow,
ever
that's
think
awesome.
Yeah, did I ever think I would able to, after 20 some odd years of smoking and trying all that stuff, finally, this was the first thing that worked for me, and that was blue. Blues worked for me, and, I remember, like we talked about,
That was my first one too.
yeah, I mean, I had every single we talked about it last night, but I had every single family member contact me right after Blue was on Phil Donahue's show. I don't know if you know remember who Phil Donahue was, like
Yeah,
Oprah. they were on his show and they were showing this product. I had every single person in my family call me, you got to go try this. You got to go try this. And it's amazing that we've gone from society looking at a product and saying, oh my God, look, this is something for smokers, something that's working for smoker, to where we're at today. It's like now you're going to lose, you're going to lose your hair. Your arm's going to fall off. You're going to be impotent. It blows me away. I'm amazed by how this product went from God sent to, oh my God, this is going to kill a new generation of.
And it's all circular too. Eventually, it's going to swing back around, and it'll be the life-saving technology that we all know it is.
Yeah.
So whether that takes 10 years.
Like I said, we are a new industry and new community, and I think there's still a lot to learn about vaping and from 20 or 30 years from now. But right now, as I stand, I think this is the greatest thing that's out there for smoker. It's a simple, easy way to quit smoking, and flavors are a big part of it. And not being able to have those flavors will draw a lot of people back to smoking. And obviously, us know why that is being the way it is, because they want us to continue to smoke, keep paying those taxes on the cigarettes. All that money goes to MSA, goes back in, California got $7 billion, $7 billion. And I remember, before I end the show, I remember seeing California got $7 to $9 billion, and then Gavin Newsom the next day gets on the news and says the state is $7.5 billion in debt. I'm thinking to myself,
what a coincidence!
How's that possible, man? We just got $9 billion from tobacco, but we're $7.5 billion in debt. I'm like, makes no sense. I don't know who's doing the math over there, but somebody needs to get fired.
Well, someone's brother is getting all these tax incentives, and so-and-so's mother-in-law is going to get their business grant, and on it goes. California is just so deep. We do have a couple of new board members that are out there in California, and there's some stuff in the works. Up until now, a lot of people have felt that California's maybe lost, but we're working with some other groups and a ton of people to try and get California reinvigorated and maybe back on track legislatively.
Well, the state of California has, for us as an industry, having cities like San Francisco and all these other cities that have banned flavors, and having the numbers now to put it in their faces, like, you banned flavors in San Francisco, but look what happened.
Look at all your surrounding counties.
Look at all the youth went back to smoking cigarettes. Exactly what you wanted to happen just happened, So we'll get into that. I want to thank you, Taylor, for joining us today and sharing a little bit about yourself with our community. I also want to thank everyone for tuning in today and being part of episode 5 of In the Vapor. Like, share this video, and don't forget to join Tim, Paul, Tom every Wednesday night at 6 p.m. for Wednesday Night Live right here on the ZampleBox YouTube channel. I got to get you on the Wednesday Night Live show. We'll talk after the show and see get you in there. Yeah, we've got an all Australian show coming up. So I feel that it's kind of important that we here in the U.S. understand what's going on in Australia, because I think Australia is kind of the possibility of what may be taking place worldwide. I think they're, with them passing and getting prescriptions for nicotine and stuff like that. I think that's a dangerous thing. I think they're maybe, So I think it's important. I was talking to Paul, who lives out there in Australia, and I say, I think we should have just a bunch of people from Australia, doctors and stuff that are from that area, that are involved in that industry, and kind of let everybody realize what's going on in Australia may be the testing grounds for what may happen worldwide. So So I think it's
And we've
yeah.
got to avoid that at all costs.
No, it's scary what's going on over there. It's very scary. And
Yeah.
it's sad because they don't have the voices we do there. They can't speak out. They can't do nothing over there. So it's scary.
Yeah.
Taylor, thank you again for being part of the show. I appreciate
Thank
it.
you so
And
much for having me.
yeah, and we will talk and get you on the Wednesday Night Live show. Maybe we'll team you up with Nick. Nick's like our frequent flyer on the Wednesday Night
Yeah.
Live show.
Oh, I love Nick.
Yeah.
I'll do any shows with Nick anytime.
Yeah, you bet. All right, guys. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. I'll let you guys know who the next guest is next week. And again, thank you, Taylor, for jumping in today and letting everybody get to know you a little bit better. And
Yeah, I really appreciate it.
yeah, and everybody, all her links, I will post them one more time in the chat, so they're right down at the bottom of the thing, so you can see them really quickly. And we'll see everybody next week.